Welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about one single Terraform command. A command that honestly is the difference between being a pro and just gambling with your infrastructure. And no, it's probably not the one you're thinking of, but it is the one that'll save your bacon when things go sideways.
Okay, so if I were to ask you what's the most dangerous command in Terraform, what would you say? I bet 99% of you are thinking Terraform destroy, right? I mean, it makes sense. But the real culprit? It's way more subtle, and it's something a lot of us do, maybe every day, without even blinking. So what could it be?
So, before I give you the answer, we got to talk about this really sneaky problem called configuration drift. You know that feeling, right? Where your code works perfectly in staging, and then you push it to production and poof, it just breaks for no reason? Yeah, that's probably drift. It's what happens when someone makes a manual change, directly in the cloud console, and suddenly what your code thinks exists and what actually exists are two totally different things. And really, what it means is that your code, your supposed single source of truth, is now a lie. It's not true anymore. Think about it. A developer logs into AWS to put out some fire, applies a quick hotfix, and just like that, reality has drifted away from your beautiful version-controlled blueprint. And that, my friend, is a ticking time bomb just waiting for the next apply. This slide just nails the problem. You've got your blueprint, all nice and tidy in version control, heading in one direction. But then you have reality, the actual cloud infrastructure, which has veered off onto a completely different path. That emergency patch, it probably saved the day at the time, but it also just blew up the integrity of your code base. So the next time you run your code, who knows what's going to happen? It's a total unknown. And that brings us right back to it. The most dangerous command in Terraform. It's not destroy, it's running Terraform apply straight from your laptop with no checks, no balances. See, that command makes a huge assumption. It assumes your code and reality are perfectly in sync. And when configuration drift is in the picture, that assumption isn't just wrong, it's downright catastrophic. Okay, so this is really the heart of the matter. A lot of cloud resources are immutable. That's a fancy way of saying once you create them, you can't really change them. So if you want to say rename a resource, Terraform can't just, rename it. Its only option is to destroy the old one and then create a brand new one with the new name. So a simple, innocent-looking change in your code can accidentally trigger a full-on deletion. Just picture this for a second. It's a Tuesday afternoon, you're just trying to rename your production database. Seems simple enough, right? But behind the scenes, Terraform's logic for that specific resource is to destroy it and then recreate it. And if you don't have a preview, you will have absolutely no idea this is about to happen until it's way, way too late. All your data, just gone. So how on earth do we stop this from happening? Well, we need what an architect uses, a blueprint. We need a pre-flight check before we commit to any changes. And in the world of Terraform, that blueprint, that absolutely critical safety net, is Terraform Plan. This is the most important command in all of Terraform. All right, let's break down how this works. The magic of Terraform Plan is that it does this three-way comparison. It looks at the desired state, that's what's in your TF files. Then it looks at the current state, that's what Terraform thinks it built, stored in the TF state file. And then, and this is the crucial part, it checks the actual state of what's really running in the cloud right now. This three-way check is its superpower. It's how it spots that drift and tells you exactly what it's going to do to make reality match your code again. What you get back from the command is this super precise execution plan. It uses these really simple symbols, a plus sign for things it's going to create, a little squiggle for things it'll modify, and this is the big one, a minus sign for anything it plans to destroy. Seriously, when you see that red minus sign, that is your final blinking red light before something gets deleted. The point is, with Plan, there should be zero surprises. Now look, running Plan on your own machine is a great start, but it's not enough. To be truly professional and safe, Plan has to be more than just a command. It has to be the very heart of your entire team's workflow. It's what guarantees safety and predictability for everyone. And that workflow boils down to this non-negotiable three-step process. Plan, review, and then apply. It's the mantra of professional ISC. First, you generate the execution plan and save it. Then you and your team review that plan, just like you would a pull request for application code. And only after it's been reviewed and approved do you execute that exact plan. It completely changes the game from one person taking a risky shot in the dark to a deliberate, team-based decision. The difference here is just night and day. On one side, you have the local gamble, where a developer just runs apply from their laptop, hoping for the best. It's fast, sure, but it's also incredibly risky. On the other side, you have the professional blueprint, where a team carefully reviews a plan artifact. It's deliberate, it's collaborative, and most importantly, it's safe. And for any team that's serious about their infrastructure, this workflow isn't just a good idea. It's something you automate in a CI/CD pipeline. You build it right into your process so that safety becomes the default, the easy path, not something you have to actively remember to do every single time. So let's walk through what that looks like. A developer pushes some code. The pipeline kicks off and automatically runs Terraform plan. It spits out that plan file. But, and here's the most important part, it then stops. It hits a review gate and waits for a human to give it the green light. A team lead, another engineer, someone has to look at that plan and manually approve it before anything actually gets applied to your infrastructure.
The benefits of doing this are just huge. First, you get safety. You're preventing those accidental deletions. You get predictability because you know exactly what's going to happen. But you also get collaboration. Your infrastructure code finally gets the same kind of peer review as your app code. And to top it all off, you get a perfect audit trail, a clear history of who approved what change and when.
So, what's the big takeaway here? What's the one thing you need to remember? It's this. Terraform Plan is not an optional preview. It's not a nice to have. It is the absolute non-negotiable contract for your change. And making this plan before apply workflow mandatory, that's what takes infrastructure as code from being just a cool, powerful tool to being a truly reliable, stable, professional engineering discipline. It really is the difference between crossing your fingers and hoping for the best and actually ensuring the best outcome. So that's the question I want you to take back to your team. Is your infrastructure being built from a carefully reviewed blueprint? Or are you just rolling the dice with every single apply? Because ultimately, the choice you make there defines the safety and stability of everything you're building.